Hello, welcome to a full day of eating to stay fit, to stay healthy, to stay happy, to thrive. Maybe a couple days of eating, I don't know. I got some fun new fitnessy stuff, fun new life stuff I want to show you guys, take you guys through. So I might have you tag along with me for 2 days. Anywho, today is starting with Cleo's favorite activity. Actually, she hasn't done this before, but her least favorite activity is being in the car, taking her to a groomer, because she will not let me trim her little nails. So gotta bring in the professionals. So she's being a nice, patient little kitty right now, Cleo. But she's not happy with me. Cleo survived. The vet said she was spicy. Do you want a treat? Oh no, she's so mad at me. Cleo, I love you. There you go. Happy kitty. Yeah. Can anyone else relate to this? I have this giant pile of essentially trash on my floor, and I'm just not throwing it away because this is Cleo's new favorite home. See? Look at this cat and her trash pile. Absolutely loving it. She's just so tucked in to the trash. Like, this is just gonna be permanently in my room for the rest of forever.
Am I a crazy cat lady? Maybe. Do I regret it? Not at all.
It is breakfast time. I am quite hungry right now. I don't have much here in my house, and I am really craving a breakfast sandwich. So I think I'm gonna go to my favorite little gluten-free bakery restaurant place in LA called Modern Bread and Bagel. If any of you that are gluten-free ever come to LA, go to Modern Bread and Bagel. Can I do the BEC, please, on sesame? And can I add avocado to that, please? I would love to get a chocolate donut, ideally the one with the most chocolate frosting, and a loaf of the challah, please. Couldn't resist but get myself a chocolate donut. Can you believe it? I don't want to drop it. I don't want to drop it. Can you believe that that's gluten-free? And it's so good. Then I also got myself a loaf of challah bread, gluten-free. I really just want to... Just got home, but really quick, before I go inside and devour my breakfast sandwich, I'm listening to a really cool podcast episode that I thought I would share. I think this is from like forever ago, but it's a Ben Greenfield podcast, and he's interviewing Gary Brecka, and it's about just all kinds of very interesting health things, and I think it's worth a listen, so check it out. All right, let's check out this bagel sandwich. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. So as much as you guys know, my focus with my lifestyle and what I do is on optimizing health, pursuing longevity, like wanting to get as much life out of the years that I have on this planet as possible, and also live as many years on this planet as possible. Like, I want to still be kicking butt when I'm 80, traveling the world, running around with my grandchildren, just getting life out of life. So that is my primary focus. And so within that, and I think I don't talk about this part enough, within that, I try to pursue a balance that feels very good for me when it comes to my health and fitness journey, because there's no point in like living forever if you're gonna be miserable while living, if you can't enjoy your life in the meantime. So it really is about finding the balance that feels best to you. So I'm going to share with you how I find balance. This is not necessarily how you should find balance. So for me, when it comes to my diet and my fitness lifestyle, I have found balance in, first of all, never actively restricting my diet unless I'm like following a specific protocol to accomplish a specific thing outside of longevity. Like if I wanted to lose fat, I would intentionally restrict in order to lose fat and then leave that behind once I lost the fat, or if I'm following a diet to like heal my body or something, like it's gonna look a little bit different. But in the context of pursuing longevity and just like enjoying life as a whole, I do not restrict myself in any way, shape, or form. And this ends up looking like me following close to like a 85-15 diet, like not 80-20, closer to like 85-15, where 85% of what I eat is really nourishing that goal of longevity and health span. And then about 15% of what I eat is not necessarily helpful towards that goal. So like on an average night when I'm just like home by myself watching Netflix while I eat dinner, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice at all to just have like a steak and roast myself some veggies and maybe have some rice or something. Like that's just, first of all, I enjoy it. It's yummy. And I don't feel like I'm missing out by not eating like pizza. But then sometimes my roommate and I like to order Burger Lounge together. And I don't pass up on those opportunities, because not only am I getting a burger and fries, maybe a milkshake, but I also get like that social connection of enjoying a meal with someone. But that's kind of my ultimate goal, is like, just because I have these long-term goals that would probably be optimized if I ate like 100-0, like 100% super healthy all the time, like that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to do that, because that would be a much bigger sacrifice than just eating like 85-15. So I think I'm gonna get ready for the gym somewhat soon. I'm going to the gym a little bit later than I was hoping, because it takes a while to digest a huge bagel sandwich. But speaking of longevity and wanting to live as much life as possible while I am on this earth, I wanted to share with you guys something else that I am doing outside of like diet and exercise to help contribute to that. And that is taking Qualia Senolytic. A big shout out to Neurohacker for sponsoring today's video. Absolutely love them. Obsessed with the brand as a whole and obsessed with this supplement. Been taking it regularly for months. So how this works is various stressors, like chemical stressors, environmental stressors, poor nutrition, like anything that can kind of negatively affect the body, can cause cells to become senescent. And what this means is the cells like don't die off, but stop dividing normally and basically stop functioning well. And the accumulation of these cells leads to a whole host of downstream effects that directly contribute to aging. So essentially, the more senescent cells you have in your body, the more quickly you are going to age. It's packed full of the most powerful senolytic ingredients on the planet. Senolytic meaning like essentially killing senescent cells. You can kind of think of it like, I mean, I kill most of my plants, so this might not be the best analogy, but for anyone who understands plants and actually can keep plants alive, in theory, you are supposed to prune the yellowing or dead leaves from plants, which I do. Maybe I just don't do it enough. But like you remove the yellow and dead leaves from plants so that those leaves aren't taking up unnecessary resources from the actual healthy, thriving parts of the plant and aren't like exuding their decaying, dying molecules into the rest of the plant. That's essentially what this is doing, is it is pruning the yellow and dying cells from your body so that the rest of the cells that are healthy can thrive. So this is tending to the garden of your body. And the other cool thing about this is that you only take it 2 days out of the month. It's not like an everyday thing that you have to constantly remember. I just have a little alarm set on my calendar to remind me to take it. It's 6 capsules a day for 2 days, and then you don't have to think about it for the rest of the month. So if you also want to resist aging at a cellular level, I highly recommend checking out Qualia Senolytic. If you go to neurohacker.com/fitandnerdy, you will get yourself up to $100 off of Qualia Senolytic, and then if you use the code FITANDNERDY, you'll give yourself an additional 15% off. I'll leave a link down in the description box below, so go check it out. accomplished. That felt really good. And I stopped by the grocery store after. So I'm gonna quickly show you what I got. So for beverages, got some coconut water, kombucha, you know me. Got some almonds to make some almond milk because I am currently out. And then there's this new recipe that I want to try tonight. It's like a lamb butternut squash thingy thing. So I got some kale, zucchini, and onion, and dried cranberries for that. Who Kitchen chocolate was on sale, so I had to get some. And then I was really thirsty, so I was just perusing the beverages. And this is an electrolyte drink that just caught my attention, so I got it, and I'm trying it. And honestly, it tastes like erythritol, because I think it has erythritol in it. So I don't know if I would get this again, but this is what I'm drinking, and so what I eat in a day, so I figured I would show you. That's it. So I just made dinner. And I think this is one of the most coolest things that I've ever made. I followed a recipe. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. But it is stuffed squash. It's a whole roasted butternut squash stuffed with Italian lamb sausage, onion, garlic. I did kale instead of spinach. The recipe called for spinach. I don't like spinach, so I did kale. Walnuts and cranberries. The recipe called for pecans. I didn't have pecans, so I used walnuts. And then to the recipe, I added some zucchini and I cooked some wild rice. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat all of this, but I'm gonna try. On this plate, I see so much nourishment for my body. And in seeing nourishment for my body, I also see nourishment for life, because the more nourished my body is, the more energy I'm gonna have, the better I'm gonna feel, the better my mood is gonna be. Like, I see all that on this plate, and that in itself makes me very excited to eat this and very grateful that I get to eat this. Then I'm gonna have that donut for dessert, which I am equally looking forward to for very different reasons.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So people tend to feel some type of way about the fact that I don't eat lunch. I think a lot of people think that it just seems restrictive to not eat lunch, but I just ate an entire butternut squash, half a pound of lamb sausage, and a bunch of vegetables for dinner. I'm eating plenty of calories. Trust me. I just prefer to have a huge breakfast and a huge dinner rather than having smaller meals. I feel more mentally and physically satiated when I have a big meal rather than something that's like 3/4 of what I might actually want. So me not eating lunch and instead eating a really big breakfast and a really big dinner is more of me giving myself what I want rather than like restricting in some way. I will say though, I did not think that I would be able to finish all of that food, and I am impressed with myself. I'm also quite full. This is not wine, I'm sipping on a kombucha. I just put it in a wine glass because it makes me feel fancy. And now, it's donut time.
Please don't be stuck inside the bag.
The chocolate frosting comes off inside the bag. I'm gonna cry. Look at this donut. I'm so excited about this. I found it kind of funny the other day because I posted on my Instagram story that I ate some fried chicken, gluten-free fried chicken. I found it. I was like super excited, and it's super good, and it's like, wow. I'm sure I had it a couple times growing up, but I was diagnosed with celiac disease when I was 9. And not a lot of places make fried chicken gluten-free. And so finding gluten-free fried chicken is like very exciting. And someone responded to my story and they were like, do you really think that that's healthy? Like, how can you be eating fried chicken and call yourself a health and fitness influencer? I don't remember exactly what they said, but like that was the general tone. And I was just thinking to myself, like, of course I don't think that fried chicken is healthy for me. Like, I'm eating it because I want to, because it sounds good, because I haven't had the chance to have it in years. And not everything that I eat has to be like the epitome of health. Like, I saw this donut this morning, I wanted it, so I got it, and now I'm eating it, and I'm happy about it. I eat pizza whenever I genuinely want to have pizza. I eat donuts whenever I want to have donuts. And the thing is, because I give myself permission to eat whatever I want, whenever I want, I don't really crave those things very often. Restriction is the enemy of balance. And I think a lot of people might hear that and think, well, I have to restrict because if I let myself eat one bad thing, then I'm just gonna eat all of the bad things and I'm gonna end up binging and I'll never stop and I will gain a ton of weight, or I'll never be able to lose the weight, etc. But that mindset in itself comes from an imbalanced place. Like, you only feel like you would binge on all the things because you're telling yourself you can't have them, or because you have some amount of guilt or shame or something around that food. But if you can teach yourself to let go of that guilt and shame and negative feelings around food and let go of feeling the need to restrict, then finding that balance and harmony where all foods are options becomes so much easier. And we could go a whole level deeper into exploring like your relationship with your body and your relationship with food, and maybe I should do that in a video soon, because I think within finding that balance there's also the aspect of having the self-awareness and being less impulsive around food, because there's a difference between having balance in your relationship with food versus just eating whatever whenever and just kind of eating based on impulse rather than intuition. If you want me to explore that topic further in a future video, let me know. So lately I have been really enjoying doing a paint by numbers painting for a little bit before bed. It allows me to just take time to do something that's purely for fun, not at all related to work and not at all related to self-improvement either. This is where I really struggle, because I like to work on myself, but you can't always be working on yourself. That's just exhausting and can become demoralizing. So one of the best things that I've done for my fitness wellness routine has been making sure to take some time before I go to bed to do something that's just purely for enjoyment, and I get nothing out of it other than enjoyment. Before I was painting, I reread the entire Harry Potter series for what, the 10th, 20th, 40th time? I don't know. No point at all to doing that, but I enjoyed it. But painting by numbers just allows me to shut my brain off and just not really think for an hour or so. And all this is to say, I have a cup of tea. I made a cup of tea with my painting. It's peppermint tea and there's some honey in it and a little bit of sea salt for electrolytes. And I think that's gonna be everything that I eat today. Also, I'm using a lit up magnifying glass because the numbers are really small. Really small.
Good morning. I have started seeing a chiropractor. I am off to my second appointment. This is something that I've been talking about using to augment my running journey, because I know I have some decently severe structural imbalances. I know that's impacting the symmetry of my running form. Never been to a chiropractor before, so honestly, it was kind of terrifying getting adjusted for the first time. I was like, what if I just get paralyzed? But I've now had a session and I'm not paralyzed, so I'm gonna keep going and see how this goes.
So my chiropractor did some x-rays, and I want to show you guys what I mean when I've been saying that I have a structural imbalance in my spine and it makes my running form very, very uneven. This is an x-ray of a normal spine. This is an x-ray of my spine. So you can see this spine pretty straight. My spine has this fun little curve in it. It just curves to the left and then curves to the right. You can see more of a bend in my side on this side than the other side. And this is where the differences become extremely apparent. So this is me bending to my left and then bending to my right. These should look symmetrical, but instead, when I bend to my left, my lower spine straightens out as opposed to having the curve in it. And then you can see a little bit of a bend at the top. When I try to bend to my right, my spine curves to the left before curving to the right. So neither of these are good. There is clearly a great deal of asymmetry going on here. And then here are the two scans of my head. So in this one on the left, you can see my head tilts to the side. This is because my whole body is essentially crooked and my head has to tilt to the side to keep my eyes parallel to the horizon. So I just have a permanent slightly right tilt in my head because my spine is so crooked. And then this one is especially troubling as well. Your spine at the base of your skull is supposed to curve this way, not this way. So my spine is basically curving the wrong way at the top. And he was like, did you have any trauma as a child? Were you in a car accident or anything? And I was just like, no, but I was a nerd and studied all day every day growing up, so maybe, I have not tech neck but book nerd neck. Basically my spine is just all sorts of messed up, so fingers crossed that the chiropractor will be able to help with this. Next on the agenda, going to the gym to go for a little run. Overall, running journey going pretty darn well. I am hoping that getting adjusted at the chiropractor will make it go even better, just like form-wise. I've worked my way up to being able to run 3 whole miles without stopping, so I am almost a third of the way to my running goal. And not just that I can run 3 whole miles without stopping, but that it actually feels like pretty good. Like I don't feel like I want to die for every second of it. Not gonna lie though, obviously a lot of that is, you know, improved endurance and just learning how to run with better form and just running more consistently and getting more fit in that way. But I honestly think the biggest part of me being able to run further without feeling like dying has been just figuring out food timing around my run. And for me, that has essentially meant not eating or drinking a single frickin' thing until after I'm done with my run. And by that I mean literally more than 2 sips of coconut water before my run, and I just feel like death warmed over by the time I get like a mile into my run. Like I just have cramps, I feel sluggish, I feel gross, and I don't know what that's about. It'd be great if that weren't the case, but for now, that's what we're working with. Alrighty, workout accomplished. Now it is time, not quite for breakfast yet, unfortunately. I need to go pick up a thing from Facebook Marketplace because I have been obsessively redoing my office/living room area, and everything, I think, except for 1 thing in there so far. No, 2 things in there so far. All secondhand stuff. So I got a thing to pick up, but the exciting thing is this thing that I'm picking up is very close to one of my old favorites. You OG subscribers will know, Source Cafe. So my plan is pick up, it's a piece of art, I'm picking up a piece of art. Pick up the art and then go to Source Cafe for breakfast. It has been a minute since I have been there and I'm very excited about it. Can I do the avocado toast on gluten-free bread and the cacao almond buttercup smoothie, and can I add protein to that?
Yeah, do you want to do a pea protein or collagen?
Let's do the pea protein. That was such a treat. They used to be my absolute favorite restaurant. Still one of them. I just never go because it's a little bit too far now, but I am happy. One of the most interesting things to come out of my 4-day water fast is a brand new decorated office/living room. While I was fasting, and I talked about this in my vlog of it, but my body was just craving the dopamine hit that I would get from food, but I obviously wasn't eating. And so my brain was like, online shopping. And then I just got like sucked into Facebook Marketplace and started finding all of these cool things. And I was like, I need to do something with this. And if you go back in some of my more recent videos, like in the last 2 years, this room has really not been much. I have 3 roommates, by the way. I don't like live in a giant house by myself. But for a while, this room was like a cool office / like game room. Like we had a pool table in here, and then 2 of my roommates moved out, 2 moved in. So we lost a lot of the furniture that we had in here, and we just never really did anything with it. And it kind of started to become like a storagey area, and it was just not a vibe. And like this is where I do most of my work, and so I was just like not in like a good space to work. Like I'd walk in here and kind of just feel like I was in like a storage room, not an office where I could just be super productive. And so I took the momentum that I had from my 4-day fast and I just furnished this whole thing. So I figured I would show you guys real quick. I'm not done yet. I'm still finding, moving, rearranging some bits and pieces. That's a cat. Hi. But this is now what we have. This is the piece I just picked up. I essentially assembled this whole room around, first of all, just the 2 desks that have to exist in here because it's me and my roommate, we work in here. But also the fact that I want to do more floor sitting as I work, and so I wanted a coffee table that was much lower to the ground so I can sit on a poof or a yoga block or something and work at the coffee table. So to some extent, this room was designed with health and fitness function in mind. I just kind of found this coffee table / ottoman-y thing and then just built from there. This is Cleo's new favorite bed. It's not a cat bed,
but it's basically hers now.
I'll give you guys a full rundown once everything is here and all the stuff that I'm moving out is out and it's actually like settled. I have something really cool planned for the fireplace. My mom is helping me build it and it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, basically all of this is secondhand Facebook Marketplace stuff and this room just makes me so happy now. Like I walk into it and I just feel comforted and I feel like I'm home. This has been consuming my life for the last like 2 weeks and I'm almost done. I'm very happy about that. So I just came outside to stick my toes in the grass, do some grounding, discharge some ions. But if I'm being honest, I really came outside because this little girl hasn't been outside in like 4 days because of the rain. I asked you guys on Instagram for any questions that you had regarding finding balance in your fitness journey and your diet, etc. And there's 2 big ones that I wanted to address. And the first one is I've tried having the occasional treat, but the scale always goes up and doesn't recover. My general answer to this would be, first of all, make sure you're actually giving your body enough time to recover. Like if it's 2 days later and the scale hasn't come back down, like maybe look at it in a week or 2 after. And then second thing, if you are actually noticing the scale go up significantly from having 1 or 2 donuts, then there's a couple things to consider. Number 1 could be you're just restricting so much outside of that that your body is holding on to all of the carbs and calories that it can because you are so deprived. When you're in a chronic state of deprivation, your body doesn't want to lose weight. It wants to hold on to as much energy as it can because it thinks you are starving. And then also, if you generally eat like relatively low carb and then you have a high carb meal, chances are you are going to retain some weight for a while because the number of carbs that your body is storing is directly proportional to the amount of water that your body stores. So not fat, but water. And then the last thing to consider is, are you intolerant to these things that you're adding in? If you are, you're likely retaining weight because your body is inflamed because you ate something that your body doesn't really jive with. When it comes to finding balance in general, I don't really recommend adding in things that you're intolerant to because those are just going to disrupt your body so much more than more processed foods that you're not intolerant to. And then the second big question that I got was basically about how to maintain your results without being super strict or tracking, but essentially just living your life and not having to worry about not overeating, worry about eating the wrong thing, etc. And thankfully my answer for this is a lot more straightforward because there is a pretty clear-cut answer to this, and that is reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is great for 2 things. 1, being able to increase your maintenance calories so that you can lose weight on more calories rather than like starving yourself to try to lose weight. And 2, increasing your maintenance calories so that you can just maintain your current weight and physique and goals on more calories. And if you want to learn more about the basics of the metabolism and what a reverse diet really does to your metabolism and how a reverse diet really works, I have a completely free mini course if you want to sign up for that and just learn more. It's called Metabolism Mastery. I'll leave a link to it down in the description box below. It's holisticfitnesslabs.com/metabolism mastery, and that'll walk you through the basics of how all of that works. So I recommend checking that out if you want to learn more about how you can apply that to your life so that you can eat more, eat a balanced, happy diet, and be able to prioritize not only nourishing your body but also your mind and your soul. It is time for some fun, functional beverages, some hydration, starting with some Organifi Pure, some Symbiotica B12, Symbiotica D3K2, CoQ10.
Well, I'm running out.
And then just some straight Himalayan salt, 2 pinches of that, because I'm also adding some Body Bio E-Lite, I don't know, random electrolyte thing that I found at the grocery store when I ran out of my other one, and I figured I would give it a try.
I hate drinking plain water. Can you tell? If this were plain water, I would not drink it. But this is fun, and it's functional.
And it's hydrating, so this is what I choose to drink. There was still a little bit of salt on the rim of that glass. Anywho, I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here because it has been quite long enough, and for dinner I'm just gonna have leftovers. I still have half of the lamb mixture that I made last night, so like half a pound of lamb with the wild rice and the veggies and everything mixed in, so I'll probably just make like a sweet potato and eat it with that. And I'll probably just have some chocolate for dessert, maybe some tea. I don't know, usual Marissa things. But let me know what your thoughts are on all the things that I said in this video down in the comments below. And if you want any more in-depth videos on your relationship with your body, with health, with exercise, with food, etc., let me know. In the meantime, do make sure you go check out Qualia Analytic to help slow the aging process. Again, that's neurohacker.com/fitandnerdy. Link in the description box below. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me on my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!